I am yet to hear that. Yeye Bello still have access to all the stolen money? Oh, he's probably moving a lot of them even far, far away from where they can be reached. Every day that they continue to come on the screen to tell us as if to say, Yeye Bello is invincible. They know where he is. That's not the only drama I want to share with you. As those ones were asking and backing the EFCC, the, what do you call it? There were others who are willing and more than happy. Sorry. There were others who are more than willing and happy to do the bidding if the price is right. And I think it might sound ridiculous, but some guys actually said this.
We are all Nigerians, and we know how politics is being played in this country. The person in question, before assuming the office, was a successful businessman. That's the first thing I want everybody to know. A successful businessman. This person in question as well has refunded a lot of money, what billions of naira, back to the state government, to the federal government, a World Bank project, right? Okay, fine. Now, if this person wants to embezzle money as the media has portrayed it before the general public, do you think he will refund back all this money? No. So whatever that is happening, that the media has to come forth to start saying that he paid money or he did not pay money, does it mean that all his life he doesn't have such amount of money to pay for his children's school fees? And the people talking out there, now let me ask, these people talking out there, are their children in Nigeria? How are they paying their money? Is it because they did not come to the public, or because they don't have issues with EFCC? Was that the reason why former governor of Kogi State is being dragged into the mud? Because he paid his children's school fees with that kind of amount of money? People says he withdrew it from the state treasury. I am sorry, please. How much are we talking about here? How much is the Kogi State allocation? Hello, let's Nigeria. We are all airlines here. Let's think. How much is Kogi State allocation? Okay, since his assumption of office, has he done anything? Anything? A project? How much does the project worth? That at the end of it all, $720 million, $1,000, right? No, $782 million, $1,000. Are you getting it? Being paid, just school fees. Hello. There is one thing my people used to say. Life doesn't always come as planned, but in every situation we find ourselves, we make the best out of it. Whoever that brought that forth to the public is trying to make the best out of the situation at hand. And I promised you, by the special grace of God, if the due process is being adhered to and they followed it properly, the ends justify the means.
We support him. We don't know where the smoke is coming from, but all we know is that a man of his caliber, who have received numerous awards, both nations and international, in terms of transparency and accountability, has been chasing up and down by the institution, EFCC. We are here to call on Nigerians that in a situation like this, is it proper? How do we address it that some institutions should jump court order? Institutions should jump court order to chase a man of integrity like this. So, my fellow Nigerians, our agitation here is this. Nobody is above mistakes. If it is possible that what they say that Alhaji Yeye Adola Bello did is right, let them respect the court order and follow due process. we stand for justice.
Nuisance lele.
Young people, the youth of Nigeria, Kogi. So those are the youth, typical people that will tell you, what is the way forward? Let us stand up and fight, but they do not have any fight in them. These are the low lives that will look for opportunity to fill their bellies whenever it presents itself. And they are there in that contraption. Those are the product of that contraption. They are the product of their own oppressive system. And they are even bigger threats than these criminals that you call political leaders in Nigeria. People like that, they are willing tools. They will do anything, they will say anything. And forget about names and forget about face. Somebody is asking that how did people get so easily convinced to go to public and say things like this or defend people like this? No easy you understand? And tomorrow is going to come out and begin to demand for good governance, the one that they have never been part of or ever wanted until when they are no longer in charge of the oppression. So Yeye Bello is hiding as if that is not enough. Listen to this. This was even said on the floor of the Nigerian House of Representatives. It is not just about looting. You have terrorists, criminals in charge of your different government houses. Yeye Bello is just the picture to see and look through all of them.
A labor leader in Kogi State, who was in the forefront. The labor movement criticized the governor for not paying salaries. And after 5 a.m. prayer, a Muslim prayer, the man was accosted to his house and was murdered in cold blood. With someone was with him, they took the life of both of them. Up to today, nothing has been said about it. They've not been able to produce those that killed the man. What has the man done wrongly? For daring to criticize the governor for not paying workers' salary. If you ask me, is my life not at stake talking to you in this way?
Very much at stake.
Mr. Speaker, my colleague, just like Esther in the Bible, when Mordecai went to Esther and said, if you remain in the confine of the palace and think your life is safe, God will send a deliverance to his people. But Esther stood up and said, if I perish, I perish. And he went to the king and secured the salvation of his people. The life of the citizens of Kogi State is at stake. If we sit at the comfort of this palace,
so that's one of them from Kogi reporting their governor, and he was really, they call him Governor Tatata. At least everybody who knows Yeye Bello knows that he is not a good role model or a good example of young people in power. It was horrible. Oh, it was horrible. But at the same time, Nigerians, there are those who admire him. They admire him so much that there are still those who believe that, what has he done wrong? What about other people who are already looting and stealing, who have stolen so much? He's a young man, like these old guys. He just took his own share of his people's patrimony, common patrimony. And they're out there standing up for him. I mean, I have covered Yeye Bello since 2016, just so you know. And off my head, I could possibly, list few of those I witnessed murdered by him or murdered for him. All just for him to what? Not because to fix a Kogi State or make Kogi State probably prosperous, or to end up in all of this. So it won't be the first time that people will gather together to tell you that it is, it's political enemies that are after him. But there were no political enemies when he was looting or stealing all this money. The way the whole thing is kind of, put together, you can tell, like when somebody asks that, where do you really want to start from? Because these guys are not alone. You call them, we see them for who they are, which is okay. But we do not see, or some of us do not, we choose not to see beyond, the lunacy of these criminals. We need to see all through the madness or the state of mental health of those who are their enablers. So I couldn't really, I couldn't really put it anywhere in my thought, right? That somebody who is young and possibly have so much ahead of him, only to end up just like the rogues that a lot of us as young people, forgetting the fact that I don't think this has anything to do with the age anymore. It is entirely the system. And also, this also approved. I'm going to be using him as the contact now, okay? You see, when people tell you as a young person, all right, that you are the leaders of tomorrow, okay, which happen to be a lie at the end of it all, but yeah, you are the leaders of tomorrow, and you should do your best to just not be criticizing. You should do your best to join the system and effect changes from inside. And I have people who have dreamt of going into that their politics. In fact, they did go into the politics with the promise of, we cannot continue to just criticize. We need to get involved and get involved. This, right? Only for them to come back as worse. I mean, like worse than the people they have actually spoken up against. So which then show to all of us that majority of us are only complaining because we are outside the sharing cycle. So I've seen majority of them who have went in and they have done even worse. Think about it this way. You know that those we call the corrupt, very, very corrupt, in the early 2000s, like majority of the criminal politicians that were looting and stealing, governors, senators, even president and the rest of them. Can you compare what they looted, including, the GDP, what they looted against the GDP of the country and the rest of that, right? Compare that with those who were in charge of Nigeria between 2010 and 2020. Now compare the level of looting and the amount of looting that those who are now in charge between 2020 and even now 2024. When you look back to those who were looting you in 1999 to 2010, and the amount of looting that you had back then, when you compare them and put them side by side with today's looters, those ones are now like paupers. They are like poor people, wretched people. I mean, you can easily tell. Have you seen Oshoba? Bisi Akonde? Have you seen Benga Daniel? Before they finally managed to kind of get him his little pension now that he's going to use to whole body for some time. These were people that were seen as billionaire thieves, multi-millionaire thieves. But have you seen those after them? You've seen Oshoba. Oh, okay. Well, go other places as well. Go and check. It's because every decade. Or day will turn to week will turn to months, months will turn to years, and years will turn to decades, right? For every decade that you are producing your criminal politicians in Nigeria, the system continue to embolden them. That's why I said, if they are not stopped, they will never stop. So for those of you who are having future for Nigeria, you have no idea. You see today's looters, they were yesterday's dreamers. You see? Take a look at all your looters today from across Nigeria in that contraption. You will realize that majority of them were either boy dreamers 20 years ago, 10 years ago. Today, they are the looters of today. Majority of those who are telling you that pray for Nigeria, hope for Nigeria right now, telling you that Nigeria get future. They are future, they are dreamers of tomorrow. They are the looters of tomorrow. So when their own turn comes, their own level of looting will be so outrageous that the way you are screaming right now, imagine that multiplying. That's why we said, break up this contraption. Break up this contraption instead of asking people to pray for thieves to succeed. Where are those who are shouting, I stand with Buhari, I stand with Buhari. May Nigeria succeed. May Buhari succeed. Have you all kind of looked back to see the level of the prayer, the answer to the prayer? Because Buhari succeeded in destroying Nigeria. All the criminals around Buhari, they succeeded in destroying Nigeria and destroying the lives of many Nigerians that will never remain the same again. For those who are still here, they are asking you. You see why I use Yeye Bello as a contact. So you need to multiply Yeye Bello times 36, and you have 36 plus 1 of Yeye Bellos doing exactly the same thing right now as you are watching this video. Where are those who told you to stand with Buhari? I stand with Buhari. Hashtag, I stand with Buhari. I stand with Nigeria. All these people don't like Nigeria. All these people and all of that. How could you be praying for people whose one single goal is to impoverish you, destroy your jobs, destroy your businesses, and leave you out and dry? How could you say you are praying for them? How could you let anybody even use that? Take a look at Tifnumbu. Tifnumbu has appointed 48 ministers. I mean, these are supposed people whose actions should affect your lives. It's not the wishes of anybody that is affecting your life. It is their actions that is affecting your life. Actions and inactions. Out of 48 ministers, 42 of them are under EFCC investigation. 42. Including Tifnumbu himself. But you can pretend that those people will now turn around and fix Nigeria. They are stealing your life. They are stealing your life. 4 years, 4 years, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years. And before you know it, you are no longer that young person anymore. They've taken away your youth. They've taken away the most precious time of your life. And that's what they do every now and then. So keep clapping for them. 42 people holding different ministries right now. They are under investigation of EFCC. Person appointed Abacha's bagman as a minister of national planning. Of budget. Minister of your budget. Abacha bagman. And na me be the problem. Na me know they wish you well. Right now, Bagudu is negotiating with the American government on the forfeiture of some of the loot he helped Abacha to take out of Nigeria. That is the people that love Nigeria. And now my wish, because now me know they wish Nigeria well. That's why electricity no day. Matawale is accused, he's under EFCC investigation for stealing over 100 billion naira from Zamfara people, including their gold. He took their gold to Dubai and they never see the gold again. He is inside Tifnumbu's government. But you can point at people and say they are the ones who don't wish Nigeria well. So, I mean, it's all right if that makes you feel good or better, but there is something you won't be able to deny. The real enemies of Nigeria are those people that are robbing you blind, and they are possibly saying, what can you do? What will you do? What can you do? Nothing. You understand? So when they turn around and try to want to make you feel so guilty for calling out the criminals who are so hell-bent in destroying humanity, in stripping you of your humanity, they are turning people to animals. People who are like zombies, who can't really think anymore. People are so engrossed with what they are going to eat, because that's the only thing that they have left. They've lost everything else. And these criminals continue to take actions and upon actions. I saw it this morning that the Nigerian custom, they have increased their tariff again. Why are you doing this to people? And the people that this is being done to are somehow, should I say, confused, or are too so insaturated with so much lies that we have no idea where to even start from the healing. You are battling with fuel scarcity in Nigeria now. And a lot of people are going to suffer that in such a way that it will look like this can't be the work of any man. It must be some error or something somewhere, not an orchestration from someone somewhere, because they can do it, because the system allowed them to do it. If you want to increase the price of your petroleum, increase it and make it available. But no, that's not the Nigerian way. And that would be too easy. You just have to make them suffer. And then make them forget that they suffered. After some time, present it to them at a price where they would have no choice. And they can't even ask questions. And what happened to all this money that people have to die for? That the economy remain in comatose, and other actions that will further keep it a bellicose are the actions that these guys are taking. Those are the enemies of Nigeria. We are working. Asiwaju is working. Asiwaju Awole is going to succeed. How? Like, even if you really want to, hang on, like, even if you really want to be like Mayogun, okay, let's take few things out now, even though they shouldn't. They are still factors, but let's just take them out for a sec, okay? And let's be fair, kind of like a bit of a fair sort of analysis now. So what do I mean by that? It is on record, even though these criminals have not admitted, but let's say in fairness, let's admit it for them, that Boko Haram destroyed Nigeria, took Nigeria economy to negative. Okay?